Hello everyone, this is my another one video. This video topic is a matrix multiplication. We have a two matrix and we multiply the elements of the two matrix and make a new matrix. Okay, so at first we check the mathematical representation of the matrix multiplication, then we go to the code. Mathematical representation of the multiplication of two matrix. We have a two matrix 2 into 2 means matrix A as a 2 row and 2 column. Also matrix B have a 2 row and 2 column. Okay. One point note it. Number of the column in the first matrix should be same with the number of the row in the second matrix. That means this and this. If it is not, then multiplication not possible. Okay. At first we multiply the first row, first number with the first row, first number of the second matrix, means 1 into 5 equal to 5. Then second member of the first row matrix A multiply with the first number of the second row in matrix B, means 2 into 7 14. Then add the two elements, means 19. 14 plus 15 5 19. This 19 value is stored in the new matrix first row and first position. Okay. Same as the first row of the first element of the matrix A multiplied by the second element of the first row of the matrix B, means 1 into 6. That means 1 into 6. Okay. After that, second element of the first row of the first matrix is multiplied by the second element of the second row of the matrix B, means 2 into 8 equal to 16. 2 into 8 equal to 16, and we add the two element is 22. It's 22 is added in the second position of the new matrix. Okay. After that, first element of the second row, first element of the second row of the first matrix is multiplied by first element of the first matrix, first row of the second matrix. That means 3 into 5. Okay. And second element of the second row is multiplied by the first element of the second row in the second matrix. That means 4 into 7 equal to 28. 4 into 7 equal to 28. Then add the two elements, 28 plus 15 equal to 43. This 43 value is added in the second row first element of the new matrix. After that, first element of the second row of the first matrix multiply by the second element of the first row of the second matrix means 3 into 6 equals to 18. Okay, 3 into 6 equals to 18. Second element of the second row of the first matrix is multiplied by the second element of the second row of the second matrix, means 4 into 8. 4 into 8, 32. Sum of two values 32 plus 18, 50, and we store in the second row second position. That is the result of the matrix multiplication. Now we show the how to we transfer into in a programming knowledge. Here we have a class name matrix. Matrix have a one constructor and 5 methods. The method's name is create matrix, matrix multiplication, empty matrix initialized by 0, display matrix, and display matrix multiplication, and one main function, and here we call the main function. Okay, at first we show what is the main function. Here we at first a print for a matrix A. It is helpful for the user in a console for printing the statement. Example for matrix A, the user can identify the which matrix value he or she will be insert. So after that we have a two reference variable. The type of this reference variable is integer type. The reference variable name is row and column, and we initialize by the Python input function, pre-built input function, and we change the type because by default the return type of the input function is string. Here we insert the integer type value to use the inbuilt int function for typecasting. Okay, so again print, enter the element of the matrix. This is another reference. This is the another reference. Instance or object, you can call instance or object. The type of this reference is a matrix, and we initialize by the constructor matrix. It's a parameterized constructor. So here we pass the two arguments. They're actual arguments, row and columns. Okay. Then we call the method create matrix. It is the method of the matrix class. The help of this method we create the matrix, and same as for the matrix B. Here we have a two reference variable, row and column. Here we insert the value, and then print statement enter the element of the matrix. At the console we print it. Object, here we create an object. Type of this reference or object reference is the matrix, and initialized by the constructor. The constructor is a two actual argument, row 2 and row column, and here we call a method. The method is a create underscore matrix. The under the class of matrix, and here we call print the display of the matrix. We read this already. Here we call the another method of the matrix class called display underscore matrix. Help of this method we can display the matrix A, also we can display the matrix B. And here we have a one condition. What about this condition? This condition is check if the multiplication of the two matrix is possible or not. We already said in here in there the number of the column in the first matrix should be same with the number of the row in the second matrix. This variable refer to the how many number of the column is present in the first matrix, and this variable row 2 variable is refer to the how many row is present in the second matrix. If both are same, that means 2 into 2, okay, column also have a 2, row 2 also have a 2, then the matrix multiplication is possible, otherwise not. Then print the matrix multiplication is not possible. If possible, then if block is not executed, we go to the else block. Okay, and here we call the empty matrix empty matrix initialized by 0. This method, this is under the matrix class. The help of this method, we can initialize a matrix that have a 0 elements. That means every element have a 0. Then we call our second method. The method name is matrix underscore multiplication. Here we pass our second instant object, means second matrix, reference of the second matrix as a actual argument by the call of the first matrix object 2, and after that print the final matrix object dot display underscore matrix dot multiplication. The help of this method, we can display the result of the matrix multiplication. This is a constructor of the matrix class def underscore underscore init underscore underscore. It is a parameterized constructor. Here we have a 3 arguments. One is the self, or other is a row and column. That's the formal argument, and here we have a instance elements. Here we have a 3 instance element reference variable. First, the type of this two reference variable is an integer type. One is self dot row and self dot column. Okay, it is initialized by the formal argument row and column, and another is a list self dot mat x. It is initialized by the empty list. Okay, this is a constructor portion. Here we discuss the create underscore matrix method. Pass the reference a self here. Here we have a for loop. for I in range self dot row. Self dot row, that means how many number of row in the first matrix? 2. So the for loop is executed 0 to n minus 1, means 2 times 0, one for 0 and another for 1. After that we have a first matrix. This is a list and it is initialized by a empty list. It is a reference variable. Type of this reference variable is a list, and this is initialized by the empty list. Okay, by default it is a local reference. Here inside a loop, inside another loop, this is a for loop j in a range self dot column. So we have a 2 column. So the loop is executed 0 to 1, means 0 to 1, and here we input the value. The type of this reference is integer and it is initialized by the user input value, integer value, user input integer value. And we append, we insert the value inside the first matrix by the use the method of the append. Bracket open under the value, and after that when the for loop is for j, when this loop is completely run, then we come to the self dot matrix. This is the another list, and we append the first matrix list inside a matrix list. This is called the help of this process. With the help of this process we can create a nested list. Okay, it is another method. The method name is matrix underscore multiplication. In this method we write our main logic of the multiplication of the two matrices. Have a two parameters, self and one others. Here we use the nested loops. Here we use the 3 loops. Okay, self dot result dot main ij square bracket. This is the main list, or we can say the matrix. Here we stored our main result. It is initialized by the self dot result dot main when this value is a 0 here, and we add with the first element of the first row into the first element of the second row, and we add it with a 0, and we store in a result dot main. And our another execution, we store the first element, second element, not first element, second element of the first row with multiply the second row first element. Okay, then add the 2 element and store in a result dot main. Simultaneously, same process, we add the first element of the first row with the first row second element of the second matrix. And we add it with a 0. After that we add first row second element with the second row first element, then add it in a result dot main. Okay. In the same process, this multiplication is apply, and we return the result. This is a result underscore main. This is a list. Okay. This is another method. This method name is empty underscore matrix initialized by the 0 cell. Here we initialize a local reference variable, type of this reference variable list, and we initialize by the empty matrix. Here inside the for loop, the range of this for loop is 0 to 1. Inside this for loop we initialize another list. This is an empty list. And inside this for loop we write another loop, loop inside a loop. The range of this loop, this is especially for the columns, and is run 0 to 1. And here inside this loop we append a 0 in a result list, and when this loop is done, we append this loop in the result.main list via help of the append method of the list. Okay. After that we print that list using the for loop with the membership operator. When membership operator take a one by one list inside the result.main list and print it. Okay. Then the display matrix. The help of this matrix we can display the matrices. Okay. A self of matrix, it is a matrix, and by membership operator we can refer each and every list inside a list via I reference variable and print it. Okay. And our next method is a display the matrix multiplication, and this is the same. The help of this method, here we run a for loop. This is self.main.result. This is a main list. Here we store all the value, multiplication value of the two matrices. Even we fetch one by one list inside result underscore main list, and we refer by the one and print it. That's all about a matrix multiplication. Thank you. Take care. So let's check the output of the matrix multiplication of the two matrices. For matrix A, enter the number of row, suppose 2, and column also 2, means this is create a 2 into 2 matrix. They have a 2 row and 2 columns. First element of the matrix A is 1, second is 2, third is 3, fourth is 4. For matrix B, enter the number of row 2, column also 2. It is another 2 into 2 matrix, and the element is 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Here we can display the matrix A 1, 2, 3, 4 and display of the matrix B 5, 6, 7, 8. Here also display the empty list, empty matrix 0, 0, 0. They have a zeros, and the final the matrix is 19, 22, 43 and 50. Okay. We also check one condition. If the column of the first matrix is not equals to of the row of the second matrix. Okay, let's check. Suppose for matrix A, we create a 2 into 2 matrix, that means row 2, column 2. First element 1, 2, 3, 4. For matrix B, suppose row is 1 and column is also 1, and the element is 5. Okay, so a display of the matrix A 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a matrix, and matrix B is only 1, 5 because 1 row 1 column, so we have a 1 file. So in that case matrix multiplication is not possible. So matrix multiplication is not possible. That's all about.